Have you ever just sat down back in 2011 and picked up one of your favorite mobile games to play? You may remember Cut the Rope, Doodle Jump, Where's My Water, Angry Birds, Plants vs. Zombies, maybe even Cordy. SleepyJack perhaps? Possibly something else more obscure? If not, you were probably too young to be watching this video. But nonetheless, have you ever tried coming back to those said games in your teenage or adult years and they're just not there anymore? Almost as if they've never existed in the first place? Well, it happened to me, and that's what roused me to make this video. I was 14 years old in 9th grade doing math and my brain was like, yo, Haruka, remember this game? Oh yeah, I do remember! Let me try to find it once I get home so I could play it. So then I went home to go searching for these games. Initially on my phone. To my surprise, they were nuked off the App Store. So I tried going to their website and it redirected me to a GoDaddy domain thingy. After doing a few Google searches, I discovered the painful truth. SilverTree Media is no more. I present to you the rise and fall and disappearance of SilverTree Media and episode 1 of the Rabbithole series.
Everything's fine. Thanks for asking. I've got nowhere to go. Can I stay with you? It's very lonely in the world sometimes. Until
Hello everybody. I'm not 100% sure when this video will come out, but it has been 3 years since I formed this channel and I cannot thank you bunnies enough for your support. It should come out around the holiday season, so Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. At the time of composing this script, I have 1.5 thousand subscribers. If I hit 1.6 thousand by the end of December, I will make a VTuber model for my 17th birthday. I worked very hard on this video, so please leave a like. I don't typically ask for likes at the start of the video, however, I would appreciate if you did. Now let's see how long I've been working on this video. Oh, my biscuit muncher in the name of cheese crackers. I promised this video in 2023 and it's almost 2025. I definitely have not rewritten this script 6 times in the past 2 fucking years.
But Haruka, what about that other video you did on SilverTree Media? You know, the one you made me record because you were too much of a lazy poo-poo face to record it yourself.
I had allergies, baby bunny. That and my audio balancing skills were absolute dookie. You know what? You're going to the bad girl chair.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What the flippity flop do?
Okay, where was I? Oh yeah. The whole reason why I am making this video is because SilverTree games made up a huge part of my childhood. And they got the freaking Thanos snap treatment. I even found old clips of me playing SleepyJack on my old channel.
Oh look, I'm a starship. Yeah, I'm an I-Cat starship and an I-Cat starship with a gun.
This is going in chronological order, by the way. Quick disclaimer. I don't know how accurate some of this information is since there's a lot of dead links and abandoned accounts. Some of this information is still being speculated on as well. Don't harass anyone mentioned in this video. Yada yada, all that jazz. My bad. The woman instincts took over and I started yapping for too long. Let me get into this rabbit hole. SilverTree Media was founded in 2004 by three brothers hailing from New Jersey: Ben, John, and Nate Smith after graduating from Carnegie Mellon University. They started off very tiny but got a pretty good team backing them a little down the line. A lot of the documented ones were artists. Ben Smith was a creative director, Tom Smith was the art director, and Nate was the CEO. Jennifer Smith was in charge of the finances and vice versa. Here is what Ben has on his website that paints a decent picture of his childhood years. I grew up in a small house in Princeton, New Jersey, where I shared an even smaller bedroom with my two brothers, Nate and Tom. My parents believed that close quarters produce even closer friendships. The trick seems to have worked since we founded SilverTree Media years later. I couldn't find much information on these people, so for legal reasons, take some of these with a grain of salt. I tried getting interviews, but none of these people responded. I even paid money. I still couldn't get a reply. According to Ben Smith, the main source of information for this video, unfortunately, since this company is incriminatingly undocumented, they moved to the ever-so-stunning Palo Alto, California in 2010. One of the people who came along was a senior programmer named Masaki Nomura. No, not the actor, who programmed a lot of their games that were built in Unity. According to LinkedIn, he works for PeopleFun as of November 2024. The main people responsible for the concept art and other artistic things were Ding Ding Chung, DDC for short, and Po Chung Nyang. I hope I didn't butcher those, and if I did, I'm sorry, please don't turn me into Chasu. DDC has made concept art for SilverTree's latter projects such as Cordy, SleepyJack, and Cordy 2. A lot of his non-concept artwork you'll have to do a shit ton of digging for, but it's worth checking out.
是一个停止标志，给了我们一个终点，所以我们有了起点，有了一段过程，这就是时间。
Zhang is kinda doing his own thing but doesn't post much art anymore. As for Nyang, I have no clue where bro went after 2013, but LinkedIn says he was hired in 2014. They're just at the grocery store. He'll come back soon, right? They probably have him tied up in a basement in Idaho, I don't know. Lung was a senior artist, and if I had to make a super educated, super darling baby girl guess, I'm guessing they made textures, assets, or character designs. There are other employees, but the information is sparse and you'd have a better chance at finding water in an African desert, so I won't really bother with them. With that out of the way, I will go over their list of games in chronological order.
Hello, this is Baby Bunny, the video editor. YY forgot to put this in her script because she's an idiot. But they also made it on Nightly Business Report. There's an interview with them on YouTube that's in very bad quality. I will play some of them here, but I will cut a lot of parts out to save time.
So my name is Ben Smith. I'm the creative director of SilverTree Media. My role is to make sure everything that we do is fun and interesting and innovative.
I'm Tom Smith. I'm art director at SilverTree Media. My job is to make sure that everything going out from the company looks presentable and looks beautiful.
We've been around for about 6 years now here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we're happy to make video games. We've been doing it for that whole 6 years, as well as we also came out of Carnegie Mellon, which is where we learned a lot of what we're now able to do. So that includes computer science and art. We specifically came out of the Entertainment Technology Center, and it was a great opportunity for us. So we decided to start the company right after graduating from school, and it's been a great adventure ever since.
We got our foot in the door early with Disney, and it was through our contacts with Entertainment Technology Center. And Disney has been an unbelievable client to be working with, and it's opened the doors for us to be able to work on a number of just really unbelievable games that we've been creating over here at SilverTree.
So for us, Pittsburgh, we had graduated from Carnegie Mellon. We have found that there's two really important parts to us being in Pittsburgh. One is the cost of actually living here is very reasonable. The cost of starting a company here is doable, and it was something that we could actually make happen. As well as just the immense talent that is here in Pittsburgh. I think something that happens when you graduate from some of the colleges around here is I think there's a little moment where people sort of look around and they ask, is there any way I could stay in Pittsburgh? And is there, I really like this community, and is there anything that we can that I can work at, that I can stay here. If the answer is yes, people are pretty excited to stay. If it starts to feel like, oh, there's not really much for me to do here, then they'll go off in separate directions. Something that we were really excited about was starting a company that would give people that opportunity to stay here in Pittsburgh, and it's really worked out well for us. We've been growing for the whole 6 years we've been open, so it's been really good.
We work on both internal projects at SilverTree that we've been developing since the beginning, and that's been the reason that we started the company. Was we really knew we had a good idea to make a product that was going to be unbelievable and that the world hadn't seen before, and that was the reason that we said, let's start the company. But because we had these great opportunities with these different clients, a lot of them based out in California, that we said, what a great opportunity to be able to do the things that as we grew up, looking at as such unbelievable work that they've created at Disney, that we thought, let's take this opportunity and continue to take on some client work. And so we've been doing both. We've been developing things here in-house, and then working with Disney has been it's been a great, unbelievable experience.
Something that's important for us is working on kind of family-friendly work. We don't really do first-person shooters or gory types of games. We like everything to be sort of things that we'd be happy to show anyone coming into the office. And that's really lined us up really well with Disney, since that's what they focus on, as well as some other larger clients coming in and noticing that we're good specifically at that type of work. There's plenty of work that's in that genre for us to do, so it's been really lucrative for us. It's really worked out. So we originally started off as a 3D specific company. We've always had traditional hand-drawn skills, and we could always work in the 2D genre. And early on, one of our first projects, it was asked to be in Flash, in which case we then start to work in Flash. We make a lot of progress in Flash.
Yeah, we were very open to, if a different technology is needed, that, here at SilverTree, we wanted to be able to be very flexible in how we looked at it. And that was one example, starting out as a 3D house and still having all those skills here. Yeah. That Flash came up and we said, well, yeah, we'll give that a try, and it luckily it all worked out.
Yeah.
But the thing that's exciting about that is now you have Flash experience and you have this original experience that you had in the 3D area, and that's why we're continuing to go down both tracks of 2D and 3D games, as well as other simulations and things like that.
Yep, so this is actually the pitch.
Meet the brothers Smith, Nate, Ben, and Tom. And if the Smith brothers has a certain ring to it, well, it's because they are related to those other ones of cough drop and elixir fame. But what these Smith brothers are known for are video games. Cordy Sky, and SleepyJack, three of the most popular game apps in the digital universe. Millions, multi-millions of downloads across all platforms.
Mobile phones, tablets, PC, television, set-top boxes, and trying to have kind of fluid experiences across all those different types of screens.
The ability to go from here to there,
yep,
to there,
to the TV, yep,
is a huge deal.
Yes, yeah, and that's the thing that I think we're ahead of the curve there in terms of all of our designs working that way.
They are the principals in 8-year-old SilverTree Media, a couple dozen folks in a downtown historic Palo Alto, California building. They are virtual world creators and storytellers, and when you consider there are hundreds of millions of devices upon which their games will play, there is nothing sleepy about that, Jack.
We always try to think of ourselves as the Pixar of the mobile industry, so we try to make things that kids will like it, but their parents will like it as well.
If we go at these characters with that there is a life and a heart to each of the characters that we're working on, that we show to the world, that people will pick up on that over time.
This is how they got their start, creating a fairy world for Disney, which led to TRON, and work for Electronic Arts and Microsoft. In 2009, they decided to launch their own stuff, but how did they get there? Where does one start on this journey into virtual fame and fortune? Try Pittsburgh.
I mean, half of them are computer scientists or engineers, and the other half are artists.
Both Ben and Tom are graduates of Carnegie Mellon's unique Entertainment Technology Center Master's Program, a combination of computer sciences, engineering, and art that has given birth to perhaps more game makers and changers than any other place in the real world, and was the home of
Find the Best in Everybody.
Professor Randy Pausch, whose last lecture, given just months before he died, became a phenomenon. It was a viral inspiration to millions, but he was an inspiration to the Smiths long before that.
From the beginning of us starting this company, he said, you guys really have something here. You have something unique. and keep developing that, keep make the best company you can possibly make, and shoot for the stars.
Shooting for the stars. They can do that.
Did it take you a long time to design a square head on this guy?
Yeah.
Mike Hegedus, Nightly Business Report, Palo Alto, California.
Toybox Kingdoms was and still is one of their most obscure games. It was their very first game, being produced December 1st, 2004, using Panda 3D. The brothers were freshly graduated from Carnegie Mellon, and by produced I mean it exists as lost media, aside from mentions on Ben Smith's personal website and the now defunct SilverTree Media website. This game is basically a digital ghost. Googling it, pointless. YouTube, empty. Billy? Not a shred. I tried scouring the depths of obscure video sharing websites and I still couldn't discover anything. The only gameplay image only exists on the deserted SilverTree Facebook and Tom Smith's Instagram. It took me literal months to find this image and the quality is poor. I will try to adjust it for you, but there is not much I can do to save it. The only description I could find on this game was on Ben Smith's website. Baby Bunny, you can read this segment.
No!
I'll take you out of the bad girl chair.
I said no.
Okay, fine. In 2004, when we first decided to start SilverTree, our first idea was to make toys come to life. We called it Toybox Kingdoms, and the idea was that a kid would have a toy with a microchip in it that stood on a podium. The toy came with a wooden box that would connect to your game console. When the toy was put into the box, it would appear on the screen alive and playable. We made our first prototypes through a high-quality vinyl toy manufacturer in China. We attached a small microchip containing character stats, inventory, and player information. The game was made in Panda 3D, and we also composed a wonderful musical score. This is still one of my favorite SilverTree creations, and we're most often asked about it to this day. I wonder why. From what I've gathered, the game revolves around vinyl toys embedded with microchips which carry the data to bring the toys to life on the screen. Kinda like Skylanders, I'm guessing. SilverTree Media's website said the game had elements of toys coming to life on it and had intricate level design. Judging by the artwork from Ben Smith's site, the game likely leaned heavily into a fantasy vibe. What console was it made for? No idea. Was it ever released to the public? Your guess is as good as mine. It's tragic because Toybox Kingdom sounds so freaking cool. If anyone knows anything about this game, please drop it in the comments. As it stands, Toybox Kingdoms is a forgotten gem, lost to the sands of time. Rapid Response Simulator was released 9 months after Toybox Kingdoms on September 14th, 2005 for hospital training curriculums in Pennsylvania, and developed inside Panda 3D. This game was an innovative way to teach emergency room procedures. Teams of up to 12 responders had to work together to save a virtual patient, with every player action meticulously recorded and sent to instructors for evaluation. This game isn't playable either, but there's a lot more recorded on it compared to Toybox Kingdoms. It turns out it went outside of Pennsylvania and went nationwide in the United States. Sadly, much like its predecessor, Rapid Response Simulator is unplayable today. Beyond that gameplay video, there's not much left to say about it.
Rapid Response, created by SilverTree Media, is a simulator that teaches the importance of teamwork in hospital emergency situations. Multiplayer capabilities allow up to 8 participants to experience a shared scenario. Individuals can log in and create their own customizable character. The administrator view allows an observer to oversee and critique the events as they unfold. Watch as 3 players work simultaneously to save this patient's life. Player 1 demonstrates the functionality of the environment by retrieving the defibrillation pads and placing them on the patient. As the other participants continue to administer care, Player 1 prepares the defibrillator. Once charged, the defibrillator alerts all players to stand clear. The patient receives the shock. This team has successfully saved a life. The simulator has recorded and logged all events in a database. This detailed report allows instructors to evaluate the player's performance. Rapid Response provides both participants and instructors with a tool that unlocks the potential to work together and save lives.
Pixie Hollow originally started as Creative Fairy in January 2007. In 2008, oh hey look, that's the year I was born, it became a web-based MMO set in the Tinkerbell universe adorned by nature and glittering Disney fairies. The reason why it went from a fairy creator to a full-fledged MMO was because of how popular it got. Over the years Pixie Hollow was active, it gained 100 million players.
Whoa, that's a lot of people.
It was filled with minigames starring different fairies and Tinkerbell. You can pick whatever talent your fairy has, as well as customize the features of your fairy, or Sparrowman, to your liking. It doesn't let you type in a name, so it gives you a set of names to choose from. You know those things that give you a certain name depending on your birthday or what your name is? Like, to give an example, my leprechaun name is Crazy McWobbles. You think I'm joking? I'm being completely dead ass. Some of the minigames, or talent games, in Pixie Hollow are Bubble Bounce, starring Silver Mist. My personal favorite, definitely not down horrendous for her. Pedal Pickup, Water Web, Snowflake Sweep, and many, many more. You can fly across the map and you'd be able to find an abundance of fairies to chat with. Pixie Hollow was killed around September of 2013 in favor of Club Penguin. However, all hope isn't lost if you want to play this game again. There's a remake of it called We the Pixies. In fact, I asked them on Tumblr what motivated them to recreate Pixie Hollow in the first place, and this is what they responded with. Our oldest staff members used to play the original game as kids and kept in touch with each other even after the game shut down. In 2018, they all decided to recreate the game as close to the original as possible, since many of them were pursuing graphic design and computer science in college, and had the skills it took to recreate Pixie Hollow. All of us loved the game dearly and wanted to play it again and have other kids experience the magic of Disney fairies that were born after 2013. We honestly weren't expecting there to be so many fans of the game like us who still wanted to play it, but it started as our little passion project and now it's become such a huge community. Sadly, as I said before, Disney pulled the plug on Pixie Hollow and some of their other MMORPG games in favor of Club Penguin. For this reason, Pixie Hollow and Pirates Online players have beef with Club Penguin. Wait, actually, that's where we get to our next MMORPG. Pirates of the Caribbean Online was yet another game constructed by SilverTree Media and Disney Interactive on Halloween of 2007 using Panda 3D. Oh my god, what are those character models? It was announced in April of 2005 and initially intended to come out in the summertime of 2006 or 7 though. It was like Toontown where it was free to play, but if you wanted to enjoy the game or progress past level 8, sorry little Timmy, gotta pay up. Give us $10 off your mom's credit card. The character customization in Pirates Online is similar to The Sims. It's actually quite good for its time. No, but seriously, the level 8 cap in Pirates Online caused a lot of ire directed towards the game. People really did not like that. Unlike the first 2 games we went over, this one was more widely remembered. This can be because of the online MMORPG craze of the late 2000s to early 2010s. If that doesn't ring a bell to you, just think of Club Penguin. What is also special about Pirates Online was that it was SilverTree's second project commissioned by Disney, Pixie Hollow being the first. You had more control over what you could do in the game, and it was open world. It was built to be played on Windows and Mac with at least 512 megabytes of RAM. What version? Windows f***ing 2000 and Mac OS Tiger. Holy sh**, I feel old. Wait, oh right, you can't swear on this game or else it replaces it with pirate sounds for some reason. Yeah, this game tends to make words that aren't in the dictionary become censored into pirate noises. Sorry Bartholomew, you can't say you want to suck Jack Sparrow's hairy balls. This game has a voodoo system that allows your character to have magical powers, I'm assuming. I never watched Pirates of the Caribbean or played this game, like, ever. So enlighten me in the comments about some of this stuff. It's like any other MMORPG that involves combat and some form of socialization. Supposing you're not a total recluse who hasn't showered in 6 months. The combat involves swords and guns. The swords depend on the movement of your mouse to perform special combos, which adds some unique flavor to the combat. As for the guns, it only lets you shoot dead things for some reason. That's not very American dream of you. No, but seriously, it doesn't make sense that it doesn't let you steal from other players or kill each other since pirates are, you know, kind of known for doing that stuff. There is ship combat as well. Baby Bunny, stop playing Titanic in the bathtub.
No.
There are puzzles in the game, stores, and all that jazz. There's a story in the game, but not very many people paid attention to it. It is truly the MMORPG game of all time. There are private servers up today if you'd like to play the game again, but be mindful of your personal information when signing up for private servers in general because sometimes the people running them are very stingy. The game shut down in September of 2013 in favor of Club Penguin. Oh, hell, the penguin. Oh, wait, that got shut down too. The must finally be off his meds at this time. Why is he built like that? Spore 2D Creature Critter was a Flash game released on October 6, 2009 as a commission from EA based on the Spore franchise, which was developed by Maxis. Maxis, if you're not familiar, made The Sims 4 and went under in 2015. Spore 2D was mostly a promotional game for the Spore franchise, and it is exactly what the title describes it as. If you don't know, Spore lets you create your own creatures, and they even have an entire game just dedicated to making these things. You can upload them to a website and whatnot. The website is dated as hell, by the way. This game is a 2D equivalent that still has the abundant customization Maxis is known for. The original Spore game lets you evolve from a microscopic being to a sophisticated organism. And it is a pretty good way to learn how biology and evolution work, in my opinion. Yes, It's a game in a fictional setting, so it's not like 100% realistic, especially with what they call certain body parts. But it's good for putting things into perspective, is what I'm trying to say. What do I know though? I have 6 PhDs in phenomenology, and biology was never one of my minors. An archive of the SWIFT file does exist, it's just missing a very important XML file. So it's just permanently stuck on an infinite loading screen, rendering it unplayable and lost media as far as I know. SilverTree Media collaborated with Disney yet again, this time with 2 TRON-themed games. I never watched TRON or heard of it until I researched these games, just so you know. Disney's TRON Light Cycle and Disc Battle were released on December 17th, 2010, and their first game built using Unity. Because computers were glorified trash cans in 2010, Ben Smith said they arranged something to reduce the lag. He also said that TRON was one of his favorite things as a kid. Light Cycle is basically a racing game, whereas Disc Battle is reskinned Pong, in the sense where you have to ricochet your disc to hit your opponent. Ricochet? I don't know, I don't give 2 fucking cupcakes about it. To keep the loading time low and frame rates high, we divided the tracks into separate pieces streamed into view as the player drives. This gave the illusion of massive play spaces. We could also use this technology in Cordy Sky and Cordy 2. After the success of Pixie Hollow, Disney was eager to give us another online virtual world, and their next big summer film was TRON. The team was excited to trade in flower petals for light cycles. Disney added the extra challenge of wanting to make the first AAA game inside the browser. It was also the first product Disney shipped using Unity. Disc Battle was a tournament-style multiplayer game aimed to destroy your opponent with deadly digital discs. Players were matched together based on their skill level and proximity of login times. The tournaments took place in larger glass chambers which are interlocked together. Players must ricochet your discs to take out your opponent and pick up powerful bonus abilities. Even more incredible is that we had motion capture saved from the movie to use in the game. They were lucky enough to have their characters accept joint rotation values. They had to blend the animations together for things like throwing the disc and walking simultaneously, which can get compromised if not handled properly. It seems like after this period, the company fell in love with Unity's game engine, and used it for nearly all of its future projects except for a few. And by a few, I mean, like, 1. I also noticed another thing. The games the company makes independently seem to have their own aesthetic. By that, I mean the games this establishment has more freedom with. You'll see what I'm talking about later. So if you like futuristic looking games and you have a computer, you can play them. After this period is when SilverTree began exploding in popularity and began making its own things. Which leads me to my next game. is probably the most recognizable thing this company has ever produced. And it was one of the most popular mobile games in the early 2010s. Be honest, Cordy is probably the main reason why you clicked on this video if you remember him. Cordy was released on July 27th, 2011 and made using Unity. It was made for Windows, web browser. The link is Lost Media, but I do remember playing the browser version. It looked a little something like this. Google Play, at this time though it was called Android Market, and the Apple App Store. The real reason it was made though was that it could be pre-installed on the Motorola Zoom tablet. If you want to know how long ago that was, it ran Android Honeycomb. That's how long ago that was. Cordy was commissioned by Google since smartphones and tablets were becoming more mainstream. Cordy was free, but it only lets you play 4 levels to see if you'd like it before asking you to purchase the whole game for a few dollars. In 2011, my studio was commissioned by Google to make a mobile game to be pre-installed on their Zoom tablet. We created Cordy, a little robot with a big job, to power up his world. Players can help Cordy run, jump, push, pull, lift, throw, bounce, swing, and hover in this 3D puzzle platformer. Each level is a bite-sized experience focusing on fun physics mechanics and Rube Goldberg-style puzzles. Like me, if you were alive during those times, you know that the performance on these things were absolute dog shit. With that in the fucking horrendous below 2 GB of RAM and the 16 to 24 GB of storage if you were fortunate and they're being generous. If you use that Huawei egg phone to play Cordy, I genuinely pity you. You actually deserve reparations for that. Okay, enough of my nerdy ass going off subject. Cordy was nominated as an Editor's Choice game and one of the best games of 2011, receiving countless other rewards. A console quality game inside the App Store. The gameplay for Cordy is like Little Big Planet and Super Mario Galaxy if it had a love child. In the game, you have to collect Zap Drops to power all 4 worlds, then the core. These worlds are called Tiki Land, or the preview zone for levels 1 to 4, Windmill Land, where Cordy learns how to pick things up and throw them, Balloon Land, where Cordy learns to swing and jump, and finally, Hoverland, where Cordy gets his float on. Something about that sentence seems really freaky and I'm not sure as to what or why that is.
Freaky. But Haruka, what inspired them to make Cordy in the first place?
Good question. Read this webpage I pulled up, baby bunny.
My brothers and I grew up as huge fans of games like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and Sonic. We loved the colorful worlds, fast-paced gameplay, and warm, approachable characters. The environments were places you wanted to explore, filled with magic and adventure. While designing Cordy, we wanted him to be mechanical but also have a spark of inner life. We sketched designs of old TV sets with nice warm glows, wooden record players with worn brass dials, and walkie-talkie radios from our childhood. Cordy's day-to-day existence was inspired by the little prince taking care of his tiny planet. I always liked how his world was so small that he could quickly run around it. It seemed like he had a very cozy existence.
The concept art for Cordy feels like an acid trip more than the actual game itself. But it's worth checking out if you want to see Ding Ding Chung's work. Cordy used to look like this, by the way. Speaking of looks, Cordy is customizable. There is one collectible item inside a level. For the rest of the customization options for Cordy, gotta whip out the credit card. Like most games from this era, it went off of a 3-star system. Completion, having all the gears collected, and time taken to complete the level. Thankfully, these are all counted separately so you can aim for 1 star and get another later and it would still register. This game is extremely liminal in the sense that it is extremely deserted besides the really huge entities that exist on the last level of each world, and these tiny robots that are unnamed, I think. It gives this game a comforting yet slightly disturbing vibe. especially since Cordy is the only one responsible for bringing the power back to his entire planet. This is yet another commission, but from Microsoft this time. It came out on November 15th, 2011, and released on the Xbox 360, One, and Cloud, and constructed using Maya and Photoshop.
What the fuck?
It was a game designed for a product made for the Xbox 360 called the Kinect. It is now discontinued, but it was a motion sensor device and it was released in 2010. Kinect Disneyland Adventures had a lot of minigames that relied on motion capture. As for the reception of Kinect Disneyland Adventures, it was interesting. Like, it wasn't terrible, but there were some videos criticizing it and making fun of it that I found when researching for this video. There's a new version available today, I think, on Steam, but the original has some stuff behind the scenes that nobody knows about yet. You see, Ben likes to do photography and travel to places. Some of the game's levels or designs are based on the stuff he's seen while traveling, either for fun or genuine need for references, or both. In 2011, SilverTree was commissioned by Microsoft Studios to create the artistic look and feel of their Kinect game Disneyland Adventures. Over the years, our studio picked up a reputation of capturing the feeling of Disney magic. For this project, we traveled to Disneyland and took over 6,000 reference photographs to ensure every detail was accurate. It has a lot of minigames. Some of them are reskins of each other, but they exist, I guess. There's also a store where you can buy outfits and Buzz Lightyear's decapitated head in.
What?
You're supposed to look for hidden Mickeys as well, and 43 different Disney characters appear for meet and greet purposes. This game is quite self-explanatory. It's Disneyland, but in your living room instead. Little ahead of its time, don't you think? Here we are, my personal favorite amongst the bunch. SleepyJack.
Haruka, I swear to God, if you start gooning over this game, I am deleting this entire channel.
You're going to get the un-baby girl treatment if you don't zip it, baby bunny. But, yeah. This is one of my favorite mobile games ever in my almost 17 years of being on this weird orb thing called Earth. SleepyJack was made for the Sony Ericsson Xperia Play on November 24th, 2011, using Unity, and released on the App Stores on December 18th. However, this wasn't without its conspicuous compatibility issues. I tried running this on some of my old phones, the oldest I had access to being a Samsung S3, but nothing worked. I would try on my first generation iPod I have lying around, but it doesn't connect to the internet anymore. Nor is there an Apple crack for SleepyJack that I could find. TLDR did not like running on devices that were not the Xperia Play.
Why don't you just try installing them on your Google Pixel?
Baby bunny, it won't even install. It says it's too fucking ancient for their queen and mommy Android 14. Anyways, back on topic. This game started development in 2008, making it, like, by far the longest they've been working on a project that we know of, at least. The graphics are slightly more dated than Cordy's. That and they may have had to optimize the game for the Xperia Play, and that can explain the compressed quality of certain things.
Now the main problem area is up here.
all of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort. It's like a visceral reaction of discontent coming from this area.
Regardless, the graphics are iconic and nostalgic. Gorgeous, even. SleepyJack was even pitched at E3 as shown here.
MMO background, working with Disney, I think. And they have already launched Cordy on Android, which is one of the most beautiful games on Android, also optimized for Xperia Play. But here today we have Nate Smith, the CEO of the SilverTree Media, to talk about a new game that they're bringing first to Xperia Play that is an absolutely gorgeous game. I'll leave it to you, Nate, to take it away.
Hey, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Firstly, just thank you very much for having us. Again, it's been a pleasure to work with the team at Sony Ericsson, and we're really just excited about all the great stuff that we're able to do, using the Xperia Play. What you're looking at right here is our second title called SleepyJack, and you're actually seeing this for the first time. This is debuting today, and we're going to have an exclusive period on Xperia Play. But what you're looking at is what SilverTree is really good at. We've been around for a couple years, working closely with Disney, EA, Microsoft, and we're excited to be able to just have. We've been homebrewing a lot of great IP, and Cordy being one of them. But now SleepyJack, and what we're really after is kind of getting that experience of kind of when you're a kid and you're looking around for these great characters, and you're now an adult and you're able to kind of look around. You've got all these wonderful devices that can play these high-end experiences. So we wanted to kind of tap into that. And so we're always focused kind of on the character and then mixing fun with that character. So, we really, with Cordy, with SleepyJack, in this case, SleepyJack is like a little boy who's dreaming. And so what you're looking at is SleepyJack is going through his little dream state. And at nighttime, he dreams about all the little toys that he's collected in his room. So one of the toys being Cordy, another one of our games. So we're always trying to kind of build these worlds. Oh, there we go. We got Cordy right behind us. We got a lot going on. So Cordy is a platformer, again, that's been optimized for Xperia Play, and it really does make a big difference when you have a device. You can just swap out that controller, and all of a sudden you're just kind of off and, having just really great experience. So, again, SilverTree's been just excited about launching these IPs, and we're really excited about our partnership with Sony Ericsson and all the great people that are here. So, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You can play SleepyJack in 3 difficulties and 3 control presets. Easy, normal, and hard, just like my boyfriend. As for the controls, you can go with accelerometer, classic, and slider. I remember playing the demo of this game on a Chrome extension, much like Cordy. That said extension, or the Chrome app, I don't quite remember, is also Lost Media. It's also similar to Cordy in the sense that it's a freemium game, having a preview zone before asking you to cough up $5 to $10 to play the full game. There are about 40 levels spread across 4 dream boxes in SleepyJack and the introduction of game achievements. Cordy is briefly seen in this game, once at the start of the game, giving you a tutorial on how to play it, and a couple more times on the title screen, promotional ads, and randomly floating across the levels for some reason. SleepyJack has lore, but it hasn't been implemented in the game, making me think it was scrapped or something. But we'll start off with the Space Dream Box.
Did somebody say lore? Let me read.
Okay, you can read. My vocal cords are getting a bit sore.
One evening right before bedtime, Jack played his favorite old-school arcade games Galaga, Gorf, and Zaxxon on the family ColecoVision. That night, his dreams were vivid and alive, set in deep space and filled with his favorite laser-blasting spaceships, gigantic asteroids, and a Jack-sized jetpack. In the Wild West Dream Box, Jack was exploring the woods a second night and found a little wooden box with a cactus painted on the lid. When he popped it open, he found a hand-carved Wild West toy set. That night, his dreams were filled with warm, dusty red caverns, runaway steam trains, and a giant gun-toting scorpion. The Deep-Sea Dream Box. The third night, Jack stayed up late watching an old Jacques Cousteau underwater documentary. He was even allowed to drink a tiny cup of his grandma's coffee to stay awake. Once he dozed off, he found himself far beneath the sea's surface, in the kingdom of the giant squid.
And finally, there's the bonus dream box, which has no lore documented and the name is pretty self-explanatory. I believe there was supposed to be a 5th Dreambox or a beta design to the bonus Dreambox, but it got scrapped and yeeted onto the title screen. Speaking of title screen, there's several Easter eggs from other SilverTree games on it, including Toybox Kingdoms. That means Toybox Kingdoms and Cordy are canon in the SleepyJack universe and are interconnected with each other. That means elements and assets from Toybox Kingdoms exist in SleepyJack. But there is no real way to verify this because, as I stated in the beginning of this Rabbithole video, it's completely lost media. For all I know, they have equal chances of being unique to the game as well. There's also a thing called the Sausage Brothers that were supposed to be in SleepyJack and whatever the fuck this thing is, but they also got scrapped. There are Standard Shooter, Boss, Booster, also known as Speedrun, and Music levels. In normal levels, you fight enemies with Jack's ray gun. In boss levels, you guessed it, you fight the boss in the respective Dreambox. Good job, here's a sticker. Booster levels are meant as a mental break to collect Z's and go through booster hoops and this fantastic soundtrack. Then last but not least, music levels. The bonus Dreambox is special because it's a mix of all level types and themes. If you really want to play SleepyJack in 2024, you're gonna have to use BlueStacks or Memu. There's an Android emulator in the Google Play Store, but it doesn't work for stuff like this, unfortunately. There's different things in the levels, like hidden rabbit holes. Oh wait, that sounds like this video, which give you more Z's. Or other things. Booster hoops, which make you go faster. Bubble blowers, which turn Jack into a bubble and make him invincible for like 5 seconds. And different power-ups. Turtle time slows down time for a bit. And doing barrel rolls makes you immune to attacks from enemies and obstacles. SleepyJack is like those run games you used to play when you were bored at school.
Why? I extracted the APK file and found something really weird. Look!
What'd you find? What's this? Secret keys.txt. Okay, crack the game again. You're good. Hey, are you interested in working at our studio? Write to me, Masaki at SilverTree Media. Copy and paste this message in the email. Masaki, senior programmer at SilverTree Media. Okay, gang. I ripped the assets to this game as well, and committed necessary evil. The concept art for this game is quite interesting. This game is a freaking acid trip in itself, but the concept art made me feel like I consumed one too many happy squares. This game earned several rewards actually. Goofy's Paint and Play was also supposed to be a mobile game based off of a theme park attraction in Tokyo, but never got released. There's a teaser video, but it never came to be for reasons you'd see in a moment. If you don't believe me, here's a video proving that it was supposed to exist. Wait, did I say theme park attraction? Oh, that's right. SilverTree Media made a theme park attraction for Tokyo Disneyland on August 24th, 2012 using Unity. In 2012, SilverTree was asked by Disney Imagineering to put together a proposal for a theme park attraction in Tokyo Disneyland. The attraction allows guests to redecorate the interior of Goofy's house using rapid-firing paint guns. A new beautiful location is revealed as they splatter the walls with colorful gobs of paint. Styles range from Tiki Island to outer space to tropical rainforest. The illusion was created using a 3D projection over a white physical room. We built the demo in Unity and had to render the scene from 5 vantage points while keeping the experience running at over 60 frames per second. I myself have never been to Tokyo Disneyland, and at the time I did live in Japan, I was too much of an un-baby girl hikikomori to go to Disneyland. I will play a few videos to paint a good picture of what this attraction was. Yeah, baby bunny, I told you to stop painting on my walls. It took me 4 hours and $500 to get these Christmas decorations in my room. With how popular Doodle Jump got in 2012, SilverTree Media decided to make its own spin-off called Cordy Sky. Coming out in March 28th of that year, it was composed in Unity, like most of their games from this era. Here is what Ben's website says about this game. In 2012, SilverTree created the next installment in the Cordy franchise, Cordy Sky. Our hero crash lands on a mysterious sky planet where he meets a stranded robot named Volt. Together they take to the sky to refuel the rocket ship and head toward undiscovered planets. Players guide Cordy through incredible Oh my god. My dyslexia, I hate. Players guide Cordy through incredible springs, bumpers, hover beams, and more in this incredible, award-winning mobile game. For our follow-up to Cordy, we want to create a more casual experience. Cordy Sky allows one-handed gameplay, which helps make the game accessible to a younger audience. For the action-packed tone of the game, we drew inspiration from mobile games like Temple Run, Doodle Jump, and Jetpack Joyride, which all have intuitive single-handed controls. Whereas Cordy was played left to right, Cordy Sky thrust our hero upward into the atmosphere. This new form of gameplay meant a fresh set of tools needed to build the game. The gameplay could potentially be endless, so we need a system that will let us constantly stream environments, rewards, and obstacles. Cordy Sky begins with Cordy crash landing on a planet called Planet 1.5, where he encounters another robot named Volt, who is also stranded there. They soup up their rocket ship in hopes of trying to get to World 2. Every 1,000 meters, you collect a fuel cell. Collect 5 of them and Volt gets to go home. Like with the other Cordy game, you can get skins and accessories. This game is also one of the few original games still playable via APK websites, but I would be cautious with those because some of them are a little goofy and may give your phone 69,000 viruses. I also forgot to mention this, but apparently this game is broken on Android phones in the sense that the blue things that you jump on higher up in the sky don't work properly and you glitch into random places in the map sometimes. So you would have to play on an old iOS device if you have one lying around that has the game, if you want to play it comfortably, that is. But other than that, there isn't that much left to say about the game other than its Cordy version of Doodle Jump. Cordy 2 is the final official installment of the Cordy franchise, making it a trilogy. I will get to that later. On February 7th, 2013, Cordy 2 would open in Google Play and Apple App Store. This game was also constructed inside Unity. Cordy 2 was also a continuation to Cordy Sky. I found this on the Cordy Wiki. Help Cordy and Volt as they set off to save the Zapdos from Boogaloo's evil minions, the Boogie Bots. Ooh, spooky. Cordy 2 has over 52 levels, more than double the amount of the original Cordy game. For its time and considering SilverTree Media was allegedly a team of 10 people, it is no wonder why that this was an absolute hit amongst critics, and earned Apple's Editor's Choice. All of these levels are spread across 3 worlds: Carnival City, Harmony Harbor, and Sky Factory. Each world, like the original, has a certain vibe and theme to it, but it's a bit more distinctive than in the original game, where the time of day and background seemingly being the only thing that changes significantly. This game took some elements originally seen in SleepyJack, like the weak points in boss fights and some Mario-esque combat. Another difference between this game and the original is that the planet he's on isn't completely deserted. Like most SilverTree mobile games, it made you pay $5 to get access to the full game. It had some more unique travel elements, like Cordy attaching himself to a magnet and running upside down, or attaching himself to a jetpack like in Cordy Sky, or touching a power outlet to switch level sections, serving a similar function to the catapult like in the original game. There are random Boogie Bully challenges throughout random stages, where you have to collect a star before the Boogie Bully gets to you. Speaking of stars, this game too went off of a 3-star system. It's a lot harder to get 3 stars on the levels, and it feels more like a fully fleshed out game that challenges you. In the last stage of each world, Cordy has to fight Boogaloo, whose attack patterns change in every world. Like in Mario games, you have to jump on his weak point 3 times to beat him. Gears in this game are like those Starbit thingies from Super Mario Galaxy, I'm guessing, except for the fact they don't seem to serve much of a purpose other than purchasing some outfits. The rest of them, though, you gotta cough up real-world dollars. I played the modded version though, since it was the only one I could find that worked and had the full game unlocked, since you obviously can't buy these games anymore. Spoiler warning, by the way, for what I'm going to say next. At the end of the game, Cordy finds his unnamed son who claims to know time travel. They go into a ship and time travel into the future to never be seen again, ending on a cliffhanger. If Cordy has a son, that means he's capable of having reproductive organs. Yeah, have fun having a picture of Cordy's metal glizzy in your head. The question is, who's the mother? How does this species have children? Are they hermaphrodites? Is the mother dead? Do they even have a gene pool? I don't know, but a lot of these questions will likely remain unanswered.
Hello everyone. I will take over this segment since Haruka is sick and can't re-record this chapter. Not that I like being on camera very much, but oh well. Soon after Cordy 2 came out, SilverTree Media was bought out by GSN Games, a company responsible for games that your grandma crashes out on Facebook over. They commissioned SilverTree Media to make Solitaire TriPeaks and slap it onto the App Store on March 14th, 2014. But little did they know, it would be the very last thing they would ever make. Here is a basic description of the app on Ben Smith's website, since I am not 100% certain the original app is still up, but he is a godsend for the research of this video. Anyways, Solitaire TriPeaks was our first mobile card game, and quickly became the #1 card game on Android, breaking the top 100 highest grossing apps on Android and Apple. We provided players with a tropical solitaire arena featuring over 600 levels and islands, and also introduced them to a reliable guide named Tiki and his lovable dog, Poi. For the production insight, Ben went into detail on his website, stating, "When creating the trailer for the game, I used a simple layering technique commonly used in the film industry. Tiki was first rendered in Maya using 3 render passes: specular highlights, ambient occlusion, and the color pass. These passes were then composited in After Effects to achieve the final result. I remember Banny telling me that she was playing this game as a small child and being not very good at it. Judging by the recent reviews on TriPeaks, the game isn't doing so great. Complaints of constant lag, ads everywhere, the game being next to unplayable with the microtransactions tripling in price over time. Every update is bringing more and more complaints in the reviews. The developers are refusing to fix them and accusing these players of using emulators and not playing the game properly. I am pretty sure it is your fault if your game doesn't work properly on an emulator in the first place, but go off, I guess. It isn't like it is a huge game that is extremely graphics and CPU intensive like Call of Duty. It is a freaking solitaire game for old people. To be honest, and this part is just my opinion, the game doesn't stand out much beyond its tropical solitaire theme. There isn't much lore or anything groundbreaking, just cards. Not that there is anything inherently wrong with that. Some games are meant to turn your brain off and enjoy the experience. Either way, I am going to explain some dynamics of this game so you have a semi-decent picture of what it's like. I am not too sure how Solitaire works since it is banned in the House of the Hearth. I have only ever played Genius Invocation TCG.
Frost is coming! Don't crush my tree.
There are multiple islands in this game with varying difficulties. You use the coins to play levels, and you can also obtain reward cards. You get more coins if you finish with extra time and stuff. Like most SilverTree games, this also went off of a 3-star system. The first being you completing the level, which seems to work as a move counter like most games in this niche of corporate-ish mobile games. But I am not 100% sure, so take this with a grain of salt. The second star being the streaks of cards you collect in a row. The third being speed. You have to complete the level in a certain time frame. This game also being the only mobile game they have created that didn't have anything to do with their story, as I call it. Goofy's Paint and Play doesn't count since it was never released. You have to defeat levels quickly or else Poi gets farther away from you. If you reach the spot where Poi is, you get a treasure. There is also a leaderboard, and a way to get free coins, which mostly consists of watching ads, doing surveys that steal your personal information and selling it to weird people, or downloading other corporate mobile games, if I had to guess. There are different power-ups you can get to help you, like trap torches, which remove traps from cards that have a trap on them, preventing you from grabbing them. There is another power-up that also gives you another 30 seconds to finish the level. As I said earlier, this game's release is when things started going horribly wrong after they began making a name for themselves. SilverTree Media's socials went radio silent. Their Twitter hasn't tweeted anything since December 2012. Their YouTube channel stopped uploading, and in 2017, their apps would be grabbed from their ass cheeks and kicked out of the App Store to bite the curb with no statement or reason as to why this happened. If I had to guess, it could be because the games failed to update after 3 to 6 years. The worst part is, the founders don't seem to know what happened, or they are legally not allowed to disclose the reason. Here is a tweet from Tom Smith that made me come to that conclusion.
X?
I am not calling it X, baby bunny. We do not talk about that forbidden man around here.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
As I was saying, someone under the alias of Joshua tweeted at Tom Smith with the following in June of 2022. Do you remember when SilverTree Media was bought out by GSN and all the great Cordy games were shut down without a warning from the company? I do! Tom Smith responded 4 months later with this. Thank you for liking them. We really hoped all would. I too was saddened when they were not updated after the transition. Another person who goes by Slimy Skull came to Tom soon after with a similar question, and this is what he said. Hi, Slimy Skull. Yes, we all at SilverTree Media put our hearts and souls into the Cordy game. To me, it represented some of our best work. Sadly, after the transition of selling the company, Cordy was not updated. It is a great franchise, and I hope to see it out there again. Someone else tried contacting GSN themselves about why they were taken off the App Store, and posted it under the now taken down Hero Master 2028 video, which was the only video at the time besides Haruka's that addressed the SilverTree Media situation, in the form of a comment, and I will summarize the response they got for you. Your beloved games are delisted? That is too bad. Go play our generic slot machine games instead like a lonely, pathetic loser. This said video by Hero Master 2028 was around the time Cordy was deleted off the Apple App Store, but in his own words, SleepyJack was still up. I do not know if the same thing applied for Google Play, but it is still very strange.
Well, alright, this is what happened. According to AppleBrain, which is a website that shows the statistics of an Android developer, apps and how much downloads they have, yeah, you name it. It's like Social Blade, but with Play Store. Alright. According to AppBrain, it says that they unpublished these games in the 8th of December this year, but then again, I was looking for Cordy games in this month, but I didn't see removed games. But then yesterday, I saw that they weren't there. Strange. But this is kind of weird, but they removed all their Cordy games, but they left SleepyJack, which is a game that you have to pay to play, and it doesn't even work on most devices. Too bad, because looks like now we'll have to download the Cordy games from APK stores, and they're probably viruses and doesn't even work the right way, but thank goodness I have the Cordy games in my mobile, and yeah.
I should also mention that it is most likely not GSN themselves who delisted the games. You see, if the SDKs for the games on Google Play Store and Apple App Store are too old, they will take them off the platform because of compatibility or security issues. If that sounds like a bunch of tech jargon to you, it is just a fancy way of saying they haven't been updated in a very long time and won't work properly on new phones and tablets. Even the official article on the acquisition is laughably short. GSN Digital acquires SilverTree Media, the mobile game development studio behind Cordy, SleepyJack, and more. I am not lying to you, that is all they wrote, and have the audacity to call that an article. I can't tell if I should laugh, sigh from disappointment, or fill up to the brim with rage. This is especially true with devices that run Android Gingerbread or earlier. They're basically useless now since you can't visit any websites without it telling you to update to Android Ice Cream Sandwich or Kit Kat. Google Play as of early 2025 requires the bare minimum version to be Nougat. But what even is GSN Games? GSN, Game Show Network Games, was a company made by Sony that specializes in making slot machine games that nobody under the age of 65 plays. The Hollywood Report says that GSN Games was sold to Scopely for $1 billion. In 2022, the SilverTree Media YouTube channel along with Ben Smith's would be removed for unknown reasons. The only archived video from it is Cordy doing the Harlem Shake. That part isn't a joke, by the way. I like having eyes. I want to gouge them out. I really hate this video. I'm only here because this song, it's copyrighted. Oh, this song is copyrighted because this song, it's copyrighted. I like having eyes. I want to gouge them out. I really hate this video. I'm only here because the music is copyrighted. Everything on the SilverTree Media channel except that video is lost media. Another factor that could have caused SilverTree Media to disband is the loss of employees or funds. Haruka and about a dozen other people have tried getting answers, her videos being the only ones going in depth about what happened. And I say videos plural because she did have another one that she unlisted. After all, it was hot fucking trash. Bonnie tried contacting a subreddit dedicated to SilverTree Media, and two people by the name of Score, Bunny Ear, and Super Plush Lord responded to her. Here is what Haruka said, trying to seek useful information, and here is what they replied with. Do not harass these people for answers or anything. Hello, my name is Haruka. I was wondering if you guys knew anything about the company SilverTree Media I couldn't find, particularly about their first game, Toybox Kingdoms. I am a fairly small content creator, but any of your input is very helpful. Or if you know anything else about them being bought out by GSN. I tried contacting some of the employees and founders, but to no avail. No need to feel pressured to respond to me, but I am down to interview if you so choose. My Discord is Banner Rolls. If you want to talk, I will always be here. Oh, you're actually not a bot. That's surprising. I almost forgot I made this sub. I never heard of Toybox Kingdoms before. Most of my research has been on Cordy. I could not get a hold of the founders of SilverTree Media, so I'm sorry. I looked through all of the companies that were bought, and the only one that is not casino-related is SilverTree. Kind regards, Super Plush Lord. The only thing I know about Toybox Kingdoms is that they made some Facebook posts mentioning it with low-quality screenshots. Every attempt I've made to contact anyone related to SilverTree just lead to shut down emails. Score Bunny here. Bonnie talked to Score Bunny a little more on Discord about this stuff. He ripped the assets to Cordy 2 and reverse engineered it into Unity, but in his own words, it did not work properly and a lot of textures and scripts were missing or corrupted. Score Bunny also found a ton of unused assets that seemed to be a DLC of some sort that never came to be. There is another Cordy-related thing that never materialized. For that, I will pass it back to Haruka, and that brings us to the next chapter. We are almost done, I promise.
Cordy 3 was the fan-made sequel to Cordy 2 made by Nim Games. It has an itch.io page with a few snapshots as well as some teaser videos, but that's about it. It said it was coming in 2023. It had some leaks in 2021, but now it's almost 2025 and we heard nothing. I would love to remake SleepyJack someday if I ever got into game dev stuff, but considering there have been no new updates, it is either cancelled or on hiatus. As far as I know, Pixie Hollow and Pirates Online are the only games that came back.
I am recording this part on my phone and I'm still sick and stuff. But as I'm editing this video, and I just found out about this just now, someone in the Cordy Discord server told me that a guy by the name of WolfpackGT is making Cordy 3 but inside Roblox. It actually looks really fucking good. If I had to give it something constructive though, however, it would be that the environments are way too dark and it is hard to see things. I will adjust the exposure and how I think it should be, but that's just a nitpick I have. As for the non-Roblox Cordy 3, someone who claims to be associated with Nim Games in a friendly manner alleges the developer is taking a break and that is why we haven't heard anything. This is a completely random dude though, and I have no clue how true this is, so I'm skeptical of this response. Yeah. Time to get to the conclusion.
This video's been a long one, so if you made it this far, comment Baby Girl Cordy. As far as I know, SilverTree's gone and not coming back anytime soon, but their legacy will remain in archives that exist on the internet as well as in our hearts. It's almost their 20th anniversary, so I figured it would be appropriate to drop this video around that time for that reason. Also, please do not harass anyone mentioned in this video, as this was for educational and entertainment purposes only, and isn't a glorified harassment campaign. I hope you found enjoyment in this video. Thank you for the explosive growth this year. 2024 by far has been the best year for my channel, so see you everybody. I'm gonna go crash out.
Thank you for watching the video. You are so baby girl. Did you know Bonnie Rose goes live 3 times a week? She goes live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube. Join the Discord. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you don't, I will eat your phone and spawn 69 spiders in your bed tonight.